I lay on the floor, gasping for air. It's over. I can't take it anymore. I regret all the decisions I've had at this point. But God's in my life, and please, try to make it quick. The only response I get is a long sigh from Gilliard. He decided to drag it out, the bastard. Don't you think you're overreacting a bit? I just spent an hour running, lifting weights and bending in positions that are clearly not natural. I'm pretty sure you're trying to kill me very slowly. I'm trying to give you muscle, that's all. It won't hurt you in the long run. I'm a singer. I don't need muscle. Besides, can you imagine what I look like on the stage and my arms were the size of my thighs? Not to mention that I wouldn't be able to play and cute bunny twists to do someone anymore. That would force me to change my entire repertoire, and it's absolutely out of the question. You can be a singer and be able to carry more than 10 kilos, you know. I glare at him without any subtlety. I'm not that weak, I think. But honestly, that's enough for today. I wouldn't want to wear you out when you have a party to attend. Alright, there's a party tonight. I'll be able to let loose a little. That's actually very welcome right now. The last few days have been strange to say the least. John holds out his paw to help me up and I grab it. No more reason to lie on the floor. My diva complaints paid off. Once I'm up, I quickly dust myself off before looking back at the Panther. So you're planning to be there too? I told you yesterday. My man and I will be there to provide security, not to participate directly in the festivities. Too bad. We would love to see you dance. I'm sure you have the moves. I'm the only one here interested in the idea, obviously. Do you think we will at least be able to see NeveN at a party? His Majesty, NeveN, has not yet informed me whether or not he will attend the festivities, but I assume he will show up, if only to keep an eye on what's going on. Maybe I'll get him to dance with me then. I wouldn't count on that, but I guess it's safe to try. To have the permission of the captain of the guard to invite the Crown Prince to dance? Perfect. After this exchange, we store the training equipment in silence. I'll never admit it to anyone, but I have to admit there's something nice about working out like this. So, sure, I'm exhausted, but it's a good fatigue. I think that's the word that best describes the feeling. Once I've put everything back in its place, I wave the girl out before heading off to my room. I know I told AK yesterday that no fancy clothes were necessary for the night, but that doesn't mean I don't have the right to embellish myself a bit for the occasion. I'm not going all out on the outfit, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to look nice, is there? Not to mention out after the workout Gillard put me through, little Gwen will be more than welcome. I may put out some decent shirts, not extravagant, just to look my best. Well, I made an effort, only pulling my second best shirt. I think that's a fine demonstration of my ability to hold back. However, I still have one more thing to do before I can join the others in the courtyard. I need to take a look at my favorite bird and make sure he's not freaking out in his room. If this really is his first time at a party, some tell me it promises to be a most interesting evening. As a knock on his door, I wonder if he took my advice from the night before to account, or if he still decided to dress up in a special way. Plus, I'm really curious to see a McKay and Polly outfit he puts one on. However, when the door opens, I'm almost dazzled for a few seconds. I think I can't spend a lot of time polishing the gold lines of his eyes, so that they are now signed very nicely. I guess there's another way for him to deal with stress. I don't know if it's better or worse than his monologues, though. Hey, I see you're glowing today. Tell you didn't spend all day swirling your lines. Well, not all day, no. I'll settle for that. Something tells me you spent more time on that I would consider reasonable. Let's not talk about that. About the time I spent trying to perfectly brush my fur. I have a good reason for doing all this. I need to look cute to do my job, though. I don't think this is too much, you know. I don't think this is too much, you know. Do you? I wouldn't want to look like I've all done it compared to everyone else. Now, don't worry, and even if everyone notices you, what's the harm in that? Pay attention is what we do. No one is like you. On stage, it's one thing for people to look at me. When I'm just me, I prefer to be discreet. Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. For me, whether I'm on stage or not, I'm basically still being myself for the most part. I exaggerate my personality a bit from time to time, also I hide what I don't want anyone to see, like most people do, I believe. That being said, it provides a fairly simple solution to Cat's problem. Now in that case, just use me as a seal. If you feel that too many people are watching you, let me know. If there's one thing I'm good at is getting attention, and I like you, I love it. I give him a brief wink, and then have the pleasure of watching him laugh timidly, while I certainly have some interest in seeing my musician at his best before I perform. Before I also really want the cat to have some fun now. Considering all we had to endure to get here, he deserves it. Ready to go then? I gotta tell you, if I don't have at least a pen in my son before we show what we can do, I'm gonna be pissed. So, are you going to drink before you sing? Of course. More in bed with a little alcohol in my blood. The cat continues to look at me doubtfully as I give him my best smile. But God, this boy really needs to relax a little. As we walk down the palace corridors, I began to hear music coming from the corridor. Instinctively, I bobbed my head to see its beat. To its beat. That's my domain out there. That's what I'm best at. I want to be there. I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to get attention to be the main attraction. I want to be remembered. Once outside, I can see that the preparations of the party have begun. Minimal to say the least, there are just 3 tables stuck together to form a semblance of a stage and a bunch of barrels of alcohol in the corner of the courtyard. What I find much more interesting is the 20 or so people already there, my direct competitors, the other bars who came here to win the prize. There are dozens of species here from all over the kingdom, all joking around with each other. I can even see an orca and a shark emptying a barrel together. There are felines, canines, rodents. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted the hyena who warned us yesterday that Chang, with that I assumed to be the other members of his troop, a badger and a Labrador. The moon is as light as it can be. Tonight we forget about the competition. We forget that we are opponents. We're just here to drink, laugh, and sing. That's the environment I feel most comfortable in. I turn to that cat who gives me a closer look. Is there a problem? He scratches the back of his head, searching for his words. I thought the party was in the courtyard. It is, but there's nothing, no buffet, no sand, no dancers, just empty tables. I think you and I have 2 very different ideas of what a party is. And then alongside the confused look on his face before the starter was in the direction of the bells. There's not a party for nobles here. We are not here to applaud someone who's performing. We're here to have fun first and foremost. To have a good time while we still can. So do me a favor, will you? Have a drink and enjoy yourself. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to dance, dance. But if you want someone in your band, let me know. I'll be your wingman. I had the pleasure of seeing a cat blush again. It's so easy. It's almost spoils the fun. Almost. Why, I think he stands for a moment before closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. I'm impressed. He manages to calm himself without any help. Looks like our little bird is leaving the nest finally. I'll try to have fun your way. Well, not completely, but thanks for the offer. I don't think I'll do that last thing. Besides, I don't think many people really want to say relationship with me. I've never been very popular. What a beautiful girl like you. I'm sure half the females here are just dying to pounce on you. The cat blushes even more and looks around, almost as if he's about to be jumped on by a group of damsels in the heat. The rehearsal at camp went as well as expected. There's only one thing now that could really keep us from winning. Spin. He teased during the competition and probably have the winning palm in his hand. I have to make sure that doesn't happen. My concern is that I can't just run to Malbron and tell him I think the weasel is cheating. Without proof, he'll just dismiss me. And that's not exactly something I can easily prove. But I have to find something to convince him. I can't just let Sven get away with it. There has to be some way to prove that I'm not lying. I know what I'm saying, and I know the weasel. Come on, Aaron. There's gotta be something you can do. Some way to force him to confess or something. This morning's argument is coming back to my mind. I almost got into a verbal joust with the lad, and I'm wondering if that might be the solution I'm looking for. Sven is arrogant and will never refuse to confront me. If I demand he tell the truth as a reward for my victory, even he will not dare to lie, especially if I request that Melbourne witness the confrontation. The prince. Where the fuck is the prince? He keeps moving all over the castle. The preparations go on. It's impossible to find him in the same place, so I need him right now. So I start running up and down the corridors. I don't think anyone has seen a white rabbit since a hurry in their life. No time to say hello. Goodbye, I'm late. And finally there he is, Samuel Gillard. The lad quickly spots me. He nods my direction so that the bear can see me too. I have a request, my prince. Melbourne crosses his arms and looks at me insistently. He too has no time for trivialities, obviously. Be concise. Fair enough, the weasel. I know him, and he doesn't normally sing this well. I think someone is helping him, and the more I try, the faster I speed up as I see the bear's imperious look, so much so that I get lost in my words and ideas. Finally, he grabs me by the shoulder and speaks in a calm but authoritative voice. Breathe. I'll give you 10 seconds to convince me. I'm not blushing before taking a deep breath. Get your thoughts together, Eric, and quickly. I think one of the tests and Sven is cheating. I'd like to help prove it. Oh, if that's true, I can't let that go. You obviously already have a plan, so let's hear it. I'm going to challenge him to a verbal joust, and I need you as a witness. A verbal joust? It's a sort of a rhyming insult contest. Something very old among the bars, but don't ask me more about it because I don't exactly have the details on the subject. Despite my imperial stress, I managed to wring the chugger out of the bear who shakes his hand. I must say, I would like to know more on another case in Gillard. Go get this friend and meet us in the courtyard. His band has to be there too. I think someone is helping him change his voice for a brand when singing. It can only be someone who's constantly following him. Oh, and it would be nice to have a cat come as well. He might be able to help us detect the whisperer. Alright, both the band and the falcon then. The panther quickly bowed before bolting towards the bard's quarters without further question. The bear meanwhile begs me to follow him with a rather severe look on his face. Thank you for trusting me. Don't be too hasty. I don't have time to listen to your plan in detail, so you better make it work. This accusation is not to be taken lightly. I hope you understand that. I know what I'm asking. I know what I'm risking, and I have no doubt that he's cheating. The hard part is proving it, and I'm going to play it on his pride. We have a common past, he and I. He's just dying to press me in front of the prince himself, so we'll give him that opportunity. Oh, so I'm the bait? The bear suddenly gives me an amused look, but I can only give him a bear smile with my ears lower. Fortunately, we soon in the courtyard cleared of the tables for my little party the night before. This is perfect. Many eyes will be on us from the main windows that surround us. No matter what happens, someone will be humiliated here in the next few minutes, and I plan to make sure it's not me. The trick now is to make sure I manage to defeat Sven. That shouldn't be too complicated, really. After all, I just need to insult him. That shouldn't be too much of a problem for me. Not some experience with this. The real concern is going to be respecting the form. After all, we're honest. We don't just throw the biggest slurs we know at each other's faces. We put a little subtlety into it. In this case, the rules are plain simple. We're each going to take turns insulting the other using two rhyming lines. The difficulty is keeping the same number of syllables. The first two insult must keep his verses between 10 to 12 syllables. Beyond that, he is free to arrange the jab as he wishes. The respondent, on the other hand, must respect the imposed form. The former uses 12-syllable verses, so the latter must do the same. The one who does not find the appropriate answer makes a mistake in the number of syllables, whose verses do not rhyme, then loses the joust. Speaking first thus offers a huge advance that control the will of the battle. Responding, however, is a bit easier than having to throw out the first insults. It is possible to build on what was said. Here's my oldest tradition is taken really seriously. I don't think NeveN will dare to cheat here or refuse to do what is agreed upon in the event of a loss. If it ever gets out, it'll just be sung by the rest of our community. He wouldn't even attempt test to that extent. But it also means that whatever he demands of me, if I lose, I'll have to do it. I don't have a choice. I have to win. Killing eventually returns accompanied by NeveN, his troop, and cat. The latter gives me worried looks as he approaches. Eric, what's going on? Is everything okay? I wondered the same thing. What have you done now? Why are you involving me in it? Well, it's up to me to take control of the situation now. Let's go, Eric. Time to show what you can do. Everything's fine, Cat. Nothing to worry about. And for once, NeveN, this is something you did. I have nothing to do with it. What do you mean? Well, you see, last night I was enjoying the party, but I suddenly hear your voice coming from the stage. Nothing very surprising, so for all I know, you were bound to sing at some point. I was surprised. It was when I realized you were performing one of my songs. What's more, one that is not all suited to your tone of voice. It took me a little while to figure out how you could have come with such a miracle, but I finally figured it out. You use a whisper, right? I hear a few surprised noises from the people present, followed by several seconds of silence. Well, at least I'm confident I got their attention. Eric, are you sure that? So, you're fucking with me, right? Is that really all you could come up with? You're more pathetic than I thought. You just can't stand there. You just can't stand that someone's better than you, can you? No, that has to be changed. It can't be you underestimating me, or worse, you are overestimating your abilities. I know your voice, NeveN. I know what I'm talking about. Eric, please, you can't accuse people like that. I agree with the bird. You have no proof of what you were saying. You're just wasting our time. Indeed, I don't have any proof, but I don't need it. I'll make you confess right here. I'd love to know how you plan to do that. Easy, NeveN. I'm officially challenging you to a verbal joust. If I win, you will confess the truth about your performance yesterday. Wait, what? Really? And why would I agree to that? Because you have nothing to lose if you tell the truth. If you refuse, it almost looks like you have something to fear from your defeat. NeveN seems to think it for a moment while I can see his band whispering to each other. Which reinforces my point, after all. They too have nothing to fear if he is telling the truth. So be it. If that's the way you want to do it, but once I win, I'll make you admit that you're just jealous and unable to accept that I'm better than you. I agree with your turn. I won't lose anyway. Now here, maybe you're grumbling next to me. Well, in that case, can we speed things up? I have a really busy day. We still need a referee, a prince. Oh, by Olivia. Hey, I need a ball in the courtroom now. Ears dropped to my head as the prince began to yell. Now, I'm not the only one visibly surprised with the volume's voice. This is a quicker way to fix the problem that's going to get someone. I just appreciate it if next time you give noise before yelling in my ear like that. That said, it seems to work. We soon see a deer arrive. He's much smaller than Pecan, and this puzzle as he stares at us. You need more prince. Yes, these two want their verbal joust. Do you understand what this is? What that is? Oh, of course, my prince. Wait, you'll be the referee. The deal has for a moment before Nine turned to us. Gentlemen, have you decided on an order yet? Not yet. The buck inside before reaching in to one of his pockets, put out a coin. No need to explain the rest. Heads. I guess I only have tails left then. The coin is tossed and our eyes are fixed on it. Watson spinning through the air. Please flip it. Please flip the tails. Heads. Damn it. Sir? Sven. Sir Sven will start and Sir Eric will respond. You know me? After your act last night, I think everyone in the court knows you. He smiles at me and then looks serious again. Sven and I stand in front of each other. I focus entirely on him. I'll spit sick wines, beware of the germ. Or you spit some wine, beware of the sperm. All you can spit for now is drool and muck. Maybe it's time you admit that you suck. I recently heard that you were an orphan. I always thought that you were a whoreson. Well, at least I can say my parents are dead while yours are alive, knowing what they have read. And then there's that time when you live on the streets. How much does it win to suck dicks and beat meats? How much does it cost to be a failed singer, being bare brat or sore loser? After several laughs around me, the prince's cavernous voice is heard in imposing silence. Let the referee decide the outcome of this duel, and declare the winner of this verbal joust. Gentlemen, please shake hands. I mockingly glare at Sven before setting my paw, but he gives me a hateful look and for a moment seems to refuse to do the same. The prince frowns menacingly, which is enough to turn the reason to take my hand. You will pay for this. Before you threaten me any further, remember that you owe the prince and me the truth. The colorful bard growls and immediately withdraws his paw and saying mine. He resumes his posture full of pride and arrogance and raises his voice for all to hear. The truth, huh? You really want the truth? Here's the truth. 9 long years of my life entirely devoted to Wago and his band, giving him absolutely everything I have, every second of my time. And then I got sick. 2 weeks without being able to sing. 2 fucking weeks out of 9 years. And out of nowhere comes a kid looks like he hasn't eaten in weeks and smells like a sewer. He claims to be able to sing my act better than I can. So Rhaegar lets him try for one evening. The show must go on, right? But the worst part of it is that the kid is right. I'm good, but Tesso, he's better. Fuck. Even though I knew I didn't stand a chance. I saw my time on stage decrease, while his was increasing more and more, and that's when I realized that playing by the rules doesn't work. Not for people like me, not for people who don't have a natural gift. I really tried, but it wasn't enough. It only took a few weeks for Eric to take it all from me. So yeah, I cheated. Of course I have a whisper. It's the only way I can succeed after all. The world isn't fair, but I play by the rules. For a second I found myself almost feeling sorry for Sven. Then I remembered the constant insults, name-calling and mocking for almost a year. Whatsoever he went through, wherever he thinks, it doesn't justify his behavior in any way. It certainly doesn't justify his cheating. Without a word, Melbourne walks towards Louisa, who is gradually losing his confidence at each step the prince takes. Finally, so close to Ben that the bard's muzzle is only a few centimeters away from the bear's armored torso, who looks at him from his full height. You know what is done to those who misuse their tongue in other countries? No, my prince. They hack off the organ by which they have eared and they nail it to the dominant hand of the accused. But we are not barbarians, are we, bard? The minstrel tries to answer, but only a very audible squeak comes from his tight throat. Finally, he just shakes his head from left to right as slowly as he can, as if he is afraid the bear will whip his tongue out on the spot. You should be grateful to Eric and thank him, because he saved you from making the mistake of cheating during the contest. You lose your place as a contestant, but your life expectancy just got a lot longer. And now out of my sight, I will find suitable punishment for disrespecting our rules and for trying to sully the name of another competitor. But until then, I don't want to see you again. You better avoid me. Yes, understood, my prince. NeveN hurriedly steps back before bowing to Mayborn. Then he scurries off so quickly that his band remains in the room for a moment, each looking at each other quickly without quite knowing what to do. You will not be punished for your leader's cheating. I suspect that you knew about it, but you were not responsible for his actions. Nonetheless, go back to your rooms. All performers bow before fleeing as quickly as possible. I can understand them. Mayborn can be authoritative when he wants to be, but it looks like the grizzly wants to show another side of his personality when he turns to me with a controlled smile. Congratulations on the victory, and thank you for exposing that smooth talker. Thank you, my prince. Before I even have time to ask for permission, the lead of the Shady Bells toll loudly. Mayborn puts up his ears and his eyes go wide before he pulls himself together, clapping his paws. Everyone get ready, the kings are back. The chaos that ensued is hard to describe. For a few seconds, everyone seemed to bust about, one around taking their assigned places. The guards suddenly seemed to come to life, straightening up and positioning themselves at the castle entrance while Gillian shouts orders that seemed incomprehensible to me. Nobles, boys, and other guests come to join us in the courtyard to welcome Lux and Aeon. I can even see Tanat leaning over from the top of one of the balconies to observe what is happening below. And at the center of all this commotion is Mayborn. The only still and silent element in the courtyard. He is stiffer than I've ever seen him. Not exactly the attitude that was expected for someone waiting for his father's, a daughter or otherwise. With a brisk step, I approach him, then giving him a puzzled look. Is everything okay? You look tense. Everything is fine, Eric. Thanks for your concern. I just want to make sure. Quiet, they're here. I look towards the front gate and nothing. I don't see anyone. I'm starting to wonder if our prince is really fine. I observe the saddles on the ground. Looks like my perplexity was obvious. Wait, I see I'm still scoring points with Mayborn. Thing is, if I lower my gaze to observe my own saddle for a moment, I don't see anything peculiar with it, but I realize the problem. The sun is shining on my left side. My saddle is in front of me, pointing in the direction of the entrance. It's absolutely impossible. It should be on my right. As I look around, I see that it's not just me. All the saddles in the corridor are drawn towards the entrance, but that's not all. Now that I'm paying attention, I also see that all the saddles are slowly stretching out as if someone's trying to pull on them to observe them into a specific point. What the fuck is happening? Mayborn? Shh. No need to worry. Aeon likes to let people know he's coming, that's all. Enjoy the show. This is all to do on King Aeon? I knew he was powerful, of course, but not to this extent. He's not even really here yet. Shifting my attention back to the entrance, I noticed that the saddles on the ground aren't the only ones that have changed. The stone archway leading into the castle is now completely shrouded in darkness. I'm unable to see anything in there. From the many murmurs here and there, I'm not the only one. After a brief moment, a sound is heard, a snap of a finger. The saddle stretched out on the ground, then returned to their original places in a rapid glide as the darkness covering the archway dissipates. As I'm in the presence of the sun returned light, me and probably everyone else who was trying to see through the darkness. So I find myself forced to squint for a moment before I can once again observe what is before me, and thus to get my first glimpse of King Aeon. I have seen many statues and other representations of the king in my lifetime, most often in armor surrounded by his saddles when he is engaged in battle. So I think a brief moment of disbelief can be excused when I suddenly find myself confronted with a nearly naked white tiger, clad only in a leather and fur loincloth. Between him and Tanakh, I'm beginning to think that nobility really does have a strange relationship with revealing clothing. However, as I observe him a bit more, I realize that there is probably a reason for his current attire. When my gaze falls innocently, I might add, on his torso, the reason for his outfit is obvious. He's intent on exposing his body, more specifically the brain on his chest. The salbrand usually takes the form of stripes in the coat of its wearer. However, in Aeon's case, what almost looks like a setting sun can also be seen on his torso. This, however, is only part of his brand. The rest is mixed in with the natural stripes of his fur, making it impossible to know the exact size of it, as well as the limits of its power. One thing is certain, I'm looking at the most powerful brand of Lastra on the entire continent. He's obviously not afraid to make that clear. The movement next to Aeon catches my attention. They remember that we have not one king but two. Indeed, Lust is standing quietly beside his husband. He doesn't exactly look like his statues either. Maybe I should start to be skeptical of what's being said officially. The armor, the way battle axe are dropped, replaced by a simpler and distinctly bluer outfit because it's unique. Let's put it this way. The other big difference was the official representations that since becoming king, Lust has obviously enjoyed the court boy phase and gained a certain amount of weight, but then again, he's a bear. I have to admit that I was expecting to meet characters straight out of a fairy tale, kings of legend. All I have in front of me are simply people, powerful yes, but Africans just like me. Hence, I suppose I should have expected that in and of itself. In that said, I suppose I should have expected that in and of itself. If one thing is certain, after almost a week here in Fossil, is that nobility and royalty are much different from us. My thoughts were interrupted when Aeon clasped his paws, a big smile on his muscle. There you go, you've seen us. We're home. Now move along and get back to your business. After talking to my son, the courtyard begins to empty out in a great hubbub while I stand there next to Melbourne. Not really knowing what to do, King Aeon's order probably concerned me as well, but the prince hasn't given me permission to leave. We were technically not done discussing Sven and the competition. I turned to that cat and gave me a puzzled look and I waved him off. I'm going to stay. If the kings ever want me to leave, they can always tell me that, I suppose. As they come our way, I can't help but notice the difference in the way the two kings walk. Aeon moves with typical feline grace and fluidity, but there is also something about his movements that suggests he is still a predator, a hunter ready to pounce on his prey. Lust's stance is much more composed, measured. There's a sense of nobility in his movements. I will feel like I'm seeing the two different sides of Melbourne. Even though they are his adoptive fathers, it's clear that they have rubbed off on him greatly. Now, the most interesting thing is that I'm seeing this phenomenon that I've only seen in couples who have loved each other for a long time. They walk at exactly the same pace, never in front of each other. Now and then I can see their arms brushed against each other, or the fingers of one quickly caressing those of the other as they move in our direction, as if I ever had any doubt about the love these two have for each other, it is gone now, as always to anyone who sees them together. When they get in front of us, I suddenly remember that I'm only a bard and that I might have to some respect to royalty or else end up in a dungeon or something like that. Which would make my participation in the competition a bit more complex, I must admit. So I bow as low as I can, waiting for my message of advice. Hopefully it won't take too long. It's not exactly the most comfortable position to be in. Good to see you, kiddo. Aeon Lust. Nice to see you. Melbourne is interrupted by the tiger who braces him tightly for a moment while Lust remains at his side. I don't dare raise my head despite my curiosity to see the prince's face in that precise moment. I hope you didn't have too many problems to deal with while we were away. About that, I would like to talk to you about something. That can wait. There's much more pressing matter that needs to be addressed. Fair Tiger sat under my chin to force me to stand up, and then I found my eyes locked in King Aeon's. I have to admit, up close like this, he is actually very intimidating. What kind of cute little thing is that? Seriously? Really? Even him? Is it possible to meet someone who calls me anything but small and little? Relax, Eric. At least he pointed out that you're cute. Focus on the positive. My name is Eric, Your Majesty. It is an honor to meet you and an even greater honor to be able to sing for you tomorrow. Oh, you're a bard then. He was hoping that Mel would finally introduce us to his lover. Aeon, what? I thought I could dream. Leave them alone. We had enough fun. The tiger throws a big grin in the direction of his husband before facing us again. Well, in that case, why are you still here, Eric the bard? I seem to have asked to be left alone with our son. Eric is helping me with a matter related to the competition. One of the candidates was planning to cheat, and he found out about this scheme. In order to thank him, I thought a meeting with you was appropriate. As I refrained myself from giving Malborn a startled look, he never mentioned this to me. Is this something he had always planned, or did he just make it up? Really? Well, that deserves our thanks. I only did my duty by. Duty or not, we still thank you. This competition is important to me. I appreciate that there are other people who care about it too. It won't get you any points though. If you want to win, you'll have to prove to us that you deserve it. The tiger gives me a grin and I can't help but smile too. Don't worry, Your Majesty, I wouldn't want to win any other way. King answers me with bursts into laughter. Either he likes me or he's taking the piss out of me. I'm going to assume the former. It's a pleasure to meet you too, Eric. But we have other matters to attend to. I'm afraid Melbourne, come with us. It was a pleasure to meet you, Eric, but we have other matters to attend to, I'm afraid. Melbourne, come with us. I would like to know what happened while we were gone. Of course, Eric, you can go back to your quarters and try not to cause any more trouble, please. What the? I would actually like to protest this attack on my person. Didn't cause any trouble. It's not my fault that trouble is coming to me. I think I consider answering him directly before I remember that the other people in the room. That may not be the best idea. That's right. Your Majesties, it was an honor to meet you. I hope you will enjoy my performance tomorrow. I bowed them again before turning around to head back to my room. I think we had enough emotions for the day. My walker didn't want to have a while. Here's my wisdom behind me. Looks like the rear is as nice as the front. I feel the red rising to my cheeks and ears. Not that I'm not used to these kind of remarks. They're usually more recent, but it's something else when they come from a king. Unmistakable sound of a slap on the back of someone's head reaches me. Learn to control yourself a little. It's time to get out of here. I know that I have to risk getting in the middle of a couple's fight, especially the royal couple. Once in my room, I throw myself on my bed inside. For our first meeting with the kingdom's leaders, I say it went well. They're nothing like I imagined them to be, but I suppose that's not a bad thing. Now, just like Frostwing itself, not the most civilized but memorable. And I wouldn't mind taking a closer look at an uncivilized king like Aeon. Although we're almost 30 years apart, he is most pleasing to the eye. No, Eric. That's specifically what Rhaegar made you promise not to do. You don't touch nobility, let alone royalty. Not to mention that he's a follower. If it was exactly, of an acquaintance or a friend of let's say friend. He's a follower of a friend. And I'm absolutely certain that Melbourne would not appreciate that kind of attention on Aeon. On an equal positive note, Mr. Vin ejected from the competition that makes one of my main competitors down. Based on what I heard at the party, I say that only the pool can stand up to me in terms of singing. No one has a catch level when it comes to playing an instrument. In other words, a win is basically in my pocket as long as I don't screw up, which won't happen. I can't help but smile like an idiot. Tomorrow I'm going to win the biggest contest in the kingdom. Tomorrow begins my new life. I don't know what's worse, the fact that I woke up at dawn, which is horribly early, or that there's a crease I can't get out of my best shirt. Either way, the day is off to a bad start. If there's one day that needs to go as smooth as possible, it's this one. Not that I doubt for a second that I will win. I'm certainly certain that Kit and I will delight the kings, but I have every right to be a little nervous anyway. It's not often that I have an audience like this. Okay, let's focus here. Make sure you're weighed, and that there's nothing else you can do to occupy your mind. My gaze falls on the small box containing my jewelry and bracelets. When I spot the two earrings, I wonder if I better put them on. I bought them on a whim and have never worn them, but I saw yesterday that King Aeon had one. Maybe he might like that style. I tried one on the right ear, then the left, then one on each side before throwing them back in the box, picking them up again and retrying every possible combination. I ended up putting them back in their place alongside. Again, I worked up on my own. This isn't going to help. I need to get out of this room while I end up trying on my entire wardrobe. The competition isn't until this afternoon. I have plenty of time to distract myself somewhere before I have to meet up with a kid for our final preparations. Maybe I should just go talk to him or one of the others. The only question is which one.